Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Josh Culbreth.
Welcome back to News Watch 12 midday. Right now you're taking a cloudy look at Yreka courtesy of the Rain Rock Casino, and we are just seeing some cumulus clouds right now up in the sky and also along the foothills there. A pretty quiet weather compared to some of the weather that we're going to have over the coming days. Current temperatures right now pretty chilly, 20s over on the east side, 30s for west side valleys, mid 40s there along the coast. And we are tracking a couple different bands of moisture right now. One up here towards Shady Cove, that's moving towards the Union Creek area. Then another one that's running on a line from Brookings to about Cave Junction down towards the Yreka area. So movement with this is up towards the northeast. We'll continue tracking that all throughout the day. And Stormcast is having a hard time taking all of this and making it go to the east to the Cascades. It looks like the mountains are actually going to eat up a lot of this, and the front that it's associated with is just going to sort of fall apart. So all that to say, it's not going to be a washout today. This is a pretty weak storm system. Here's a storm system that's not weak, though. We have this atmospheric river that's going to arrive from the south by the time we get to Wednesday morning. It's going to spread inland throughout the day. So this is right around lunchtime. It's going to be a very messy scene over on the east side down in Siskiyou County. And maybe we get a little bit of a lull in the action for the evening, but then more continuous rounds of heavy rainfall and snowfall into Thursday morning. That's what atmospheric rivers do. They just keep coming and coming and coming. So we're going to get a lot of rainfall down towards the Mount Shasta City area because of course, the atmospheric river is approaching from the south, so the entry point is going to get the most rainfall, so upwards of 2.5 inches there. And this is just through Wednesday night. We're going to have more rainfall for Thursday, so this isn't a complete picture of what's actually going to go down with this atmospheric river. Snow levels today are going to be anywhere between 3,000 to 4,000 feet, and then for Wednesday, whenever the atmospheric river arrives from the south, those snow levels are going to be right around 3,000 feet, and then they're going to raise up to 5,000 feet for later in the day on Wednesday. So we're going to have a couple different bullseyes on the map, one down towards Black Butte Pass and Snowman Summit. We could have upwards of a foot of snow down there, and then we could have upwards of a foot of snow towards Diamond Lake and Crater Lake. Less impressive amounts for Klamath Falls, for Lakeview, and for Siskiyou Summit, anywhere between a trace to a couple inches. But just keep in mind that that's also not a complete picture because those are snowfall projections through Wednesday night, and we have more wet and wintry weather that's on tap for the rest of Thursday. So travel is going to be moderately impacted all throughout the week, not only because of the snow, but also because of some of the winds. We have a high wind watch in place for central Siskiyou County, for the Basin, and also for coastal Curry County. This runs from Wednesday afternoon to Thursday afternoon. Some of those wind gusts could be pretty potent, upwards of 75 miles per hour along the southern Oregon coastline, up to 70 miles per hour for the Shasta Valley, and up to 60 miles per hour for the Great Basin. Again, Wednesday afternoon through Thursday afternoon. So there is the potential for some spotty power outages, just like what we saw last week in damage to power lines and to limbs as well. So for today, that weaker storm system kind of fizzles out as it spreads inland. We're going to get that little gap in between storm systems for tonight. Maybe could see some fog developing in our west side valleys, but that's just going to be a footnote compared to some of the high impact weather we're going to have for Wednesday and for Thursday. So whiteout conditions on the table, and also some very strong wind gusts, of course, with those high wind watches in place. Here's your 7-day forecast for the coast. Very wet and very windy over the next 7 days. That's the bottom line. For Siskiyou County, we're going to see things starting off as snow on Wednesday, then transitioning to rain as the snow levels raise up to around 5,000 feet, and then we'll have additional chances for wet weather after that. For the Basin, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to see it start off as snow on Wednesday, and snow levels are raising up later in the day on Wednesday to 5,000 feet, a transition to rain, and we'll also have winds to accompany that. For the Cascades and Siskiyous, we will see plenty of snow over the next 7 days. That means we're going to add to the snowpack. Good news for the drought, good news for the reservoirs, then for the Rogue Valley. A very wet and windy day for Wednesday and for Thursday as well. Maybe drying out a little bit for Thursday, but more wet weather continues into the weekend.
I know we're already seeing some raindrops on the coast today right now in Brookings. When are we expecting this storm system to really hit in full effect? What's going to be the worst day weather-wise this week?
It's a toss-up between Wednesday and Thursday, but I probably have to go with Wednesday just because that's when the atmospheric river is going to arrive from the south, and that's when the winds are going to get cranked up a little bit later in the day on Wednesday. So if I had to choose and split hairs between Wednesday and Thursday, it'd be Wednesday, but for everyone impacted by the high wind watches, and even for those elevations above 3,000 to 5,000 feet, there's a myriad of impacts that we're going to see over the next 48 hours.
Okay, thank you, Josh.
Of course.